For Thursday, July 11th, you're watching and listening to WPEP-LP, PEP Radio, Meadville. These are the top news stories. And today, our top news story is gruesome. Pauly Likens was just 14 years old when she was brutally murdered near her home. Pauly's body was found dismembered and scattered near Shenago River Lake in Mercer County. According to the Philadelphia Gay News, on June 23rd, Deshaun Watkins allegedly met Likens in the vicinity of Bud Street Public Park and canoe launch in Sharon, PA. Killed her. Watkins subsequently dismembered Likens' corpse with a saw and scattered her remains in and around Shenago River Lake in Clark Borough. On July 2nd, Watkins was arrested and charged with first-degree murder, aggravated assault, abuse of a corpse, and tampering with evidence. He's being held without bail in the Mercer County Jail. Although the Mercer County Coroner's Office ruled the death a homicide, Mercer County District Attorney Peter Acker said that he is unlikely able to charge Watkins with a hate crime as he is gay and Likens is transgender. Pennsylvania law presently does not include sexual orientation, gender identity, and gender expression under the ethnic intimidation or hate crimes law. In a related story, the Pennsylvania LGBTQ caucus in Harrisburg is pushing for passage of House Bills 1024 through 1027 to update and amend current law to include sexual orientation, gender identity, gender expression, age, and autism spectrum disorder among the protected classes covered by the law. Pennsylvania Youth Congress's executive director, Preston Heldebreitel, is quoted as saying, "If not for Pauly's identity as a trans girl, would she have been targeted by the suspect?" Heldebreitel posed. Would she have been attacked by the suspect? Would she have been dismembered by the suspect? Does the suspect have a record of similar engagements that did not end with such a horrific murder? It is unlikely that the suspect would have done so if Pauly were anyone else. Law enforcement must consider hate crimes charges if the facts support it. If they do not proceed with them, they need to thoroughly explain to the public why they are not doing so. Meanwhile, Pennsylvania Equality Project is encouraging all LGBTQ plus folks and allies in Pennsylvania to reach out to Senator Lisa Baker, chair of the Pennsylvania Senate Judiciary Committee, to encourage her to take up the House bills that have been pending in her committee since November 2023. A candlelight vigil is being held Saturday, July 13th at 7 p.m. in remembrance of Likens. The event is being held at the LGBTQIA plus Alliance of Shenango Valley. It begins at 7 p.m. at 87 Stambaugh Avenue in Sharon, PA. A new survey from Franklin and Marshall College in Lancaster measured just how safe the LGBTQ plus community feels. KDKA in Pittsburgh is reporting that perceptions of safety and acceptance depend on where people live. The report measured general components of safety, including acceptance, fear of police, safety in gathering, violence, and discrimination. Apparently, Pittsburgh has some work to do. According to the report, Pittsburgh received a high C grade for how safe it felt to the LGBTQIA plus community. There is, however, a silver lining. Respondents found the city of Pittsburgh to be 6% safer than the U.S. average and safer than other Pennsylvanias, including Philadelphia. As for surveys, the Pennsylvania Equality Project is conducting a survey as part of a 5-year study on the affordability and sustainability of housing for the LGBTQIA plus community in Pennsylvania. Results from last year's portion of the survey showed that only 37% of all LGBTQ plus folks found their housing to be affordable. The survey further showed that roughly 27% of all LGBTQIA plus folks in Pennsylvania own their own home. This year's survey runs through July 31st. To participate, check out the link in the comments section. Be at least 18 years old and live in Pennsylvania. Post-secondary education students who live at least 6 months near their PA campus are also welcome to participate in the survey. And we wrap up this newscast with good news from the Northwest Arkansas Democrat Gazette. A homeless shelter in Fort Smith, Arkansas, specializing in helping LGBTQIA plus youth in need, has added basic life skills classes to its services. Jessi's House is a nonprofit organization that provides shelter to disenfranchised people who identify as LGBTQIA plus members and are between the ages of 18 and 24. The organization rebranded on July 1st and became the Pride Project. The organization will now help its clients develop basic life skills such as cleaning, cooking, shopping on a budget, creating routines, and filing taxes. The article goes on to say, we really wanted to stay away from the perception that we were only a housing program, said Samantha Holland, Director of Case Management for the organization. And we really wanted to be more of a community resource, so we wanted to have a name that had more of a broader understanding and was a little bit more queer. Prior to the rebranding, Holland said the organization could only help the people staying in the house, only 4 people at a time, but now it will be able to benefit any LGBTQIA plus community members in need. The Pride House announced the rebranding by posting a video on Facebook. We've had our fair share of hate comments and threats on Facebook, but we take it in stride, and we don't fight back, Holland said. We don't want to meet aggression or reactivity with further aggression. We want to meet it with education and acceptance and willingness to accept people's differences. Intolerance towards the LGBTQIA plus community is what sparked the Pride Project's creation, Holland said. She said many of the organization's current and former beneficiaries were kicked out of their homes because their families did not accept their sexuality or gender identity. We have a lot of kids here who were kicked out of the second they came out. That was it. They were homeless, Holland said. According to the National Coalition for the Homeless, LGBTQIA plus youth are 120% more likely to experience homelessness compared to non-LGBTQIA plus youth. The group credits this statistic to a study by the University of Chicago. Furthermore, a survey by the Williams Institute at the University of California, Los Angeles, found that 68% of homeless youth had a history of family rejection. That's the news from WPEP-LP PEP Radio in Meadville. Thank you for watching and for listening.